In this video, I'm traveling to a military-run country in Southeast Asia. In 2021, Myanmar underwent a military coup, and the military's been running things ever since.
Myanmar's military staged a coup, setting up checkpoints, taking over TV stations, and detaining civilian officials, including their leader, Aung San Suu Kyi.
The country became unstable. Chaos ensued, and tourism plummeted.
At least 18 people reportedly killed. The bloodiest day since the coup a month ago.
In fact, the U.S. lists Myanmar as a level 4 destination, advising travelers to do not travel. But today, I'm going there.
Mengalawa, dito ka maro. Most best ever food review show channel ရတင်ဆက်ထားတဲ့မြန်မာနိုင်ငံကြီးမြန်မာအစားအသောက်တွေအကြောင်းဗီဒီယိုကိုဘာသာပြန်တင်ဆက်ပေးမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်။သူတို့ကမြန်မာနိုင်ငံကိုအခုချိန်ဟာတတိယအကြိမ်ရောက်ရှိခြင်းဖြစ်ပါတယ်။ပထမအကြိမ်က2019မှာလာခဲ့တာဖြစ်ပြီးတော့ဒုတိယအကြိမ်ကတော့2025မှာပါ။ဒုတိယအကြိမ်တုန်းကတော့အရေးပေါ်ကျန်းမာရေးအခြေအနေကြောင့်စိတ်ယုံတက်ခွဲစိတ်ပြီးတော့ပြန်သွားရပါတယ်။အဲ့ဒီဗီဒီယိုလည်းကျွန်တော် channel မှာဘာသာပြန်တင်ဆက်ထားပြီးဖြစ်ပါတယ်။ပထမအကြိမ်လာတော့ကဗီဒီယိုတွေကတော့တချို့တစ်ဝက်ဘာသာပြန်ပြီးကျန်းနေသေးတာတွေလည်းရှိပါတယ်။အခုတတိယအကြိမ်ကတော့3ပုတ်တင်ထားတာတွေ့ရပါတယ်။အခုပထမဆုံးဗီဒီယိုကိုဘာသာပြန်တင်ဆက်ပေးလိုက်ပါတယ်။ဒီဗီဒီယိုကိုကြိုက်နေတဲ့ဆိုရင်သူ့ channel ကိုလည်းတွားရောက်အားပေးပြီး subscribe လုပ်ပေးကြပါအောင်လို့တိုက်တွန်းပါတယ်။ channel မျိုးဗီဒီယိုထဲမှာစရန်ထိုးထားသလို description ထဲမှာလည်း link ထည့်ထားပါတယ်။ဗီဒီယိုကိုအဆုံးထိကြည့်ရှုပေးပါဦးခင်ဗျာ။
Bye bye. Myanmar is a country with amazing food and culture. Last time I was there, it was under a democratic government.
So what happened? For years, Myanmar had been slowly transitioning toward democracy, with Aung San Suu Kyi's NLD party becoming dominant. In November of 2020, the NLD won a landslide election, but the military rejected the results, claiming massive fraud. On February 1st, 2021, the military launched a coup, detaining Aung San Suu Kyi and the elected government. Then they seized power. Since then, it's been over 5 years. I want to see what the situation is really like on the ground, and if tourists are still visiting Myanmar after all that's happened.
Welcome to Myanmar.
Time to find out.
It's almost 2 a.m. and I've just gotten to my room, but take a look at this place. So you get all this when you come to Yangon, Myanmar for only $105 a night, which is an incredible value. Now, if you're sharp, you may recognize that this is the same hotel I stayed in last time. Yes, I came to Myanmar just 3 or 4 months ago, but I only went to 3 places: the airport, this hotel, and the hospital where they removed my appendix.
I just got out of surgery. I feel like it must have hurt so bad. Oh.
Now I am back for the trip I initially planned to do. Tomorrow we are going out into public. We're going to be using the camera. We're going to be documenting real life here in a country that's just been turned upside down in the last few years. But in the meantime, I'm going to get some sleep. Good morning from Myanmar. It is the next day. So this morning is going to be my first time actually going out into the city and seeing what it's like to document a video here, even though the country is under a really strict state of control. Is it going to go well? Don't shoot. Is no one going to care? Am I going to be told to stop shooting, or worse? Let's go find out. For our first experience here in military-run Myanmar, we have come to Shwe Dagon. This is a beautiful temple. It's big, it's majestic, it's amazing. Before we go in, I want to give you a little bit more context about what's going on in this country. In 2021, there was a military coup and the military took over everything. But recently, there was an election and they elected a president.
The ruling military junta claims the process marks the return of democracy, but opponents say the poll is an attempt by the army to try and win legitimacy on the global stage.
But here's the thing, the same guy who initiated that coup, he's the same person who was elected. So either this guy has to write. Hi, how you doing? All right, about to say things people shouldn't hear. Hold on, 1 second. So either this guy should write a book on leadership or a book on how to rig an election. I think it's the second one. That said, there are still new strict laws, rules, and curfews taking place throughout the country, and there's still a civil war happening here too. So all of this has led to the USA designating this as a level 4 do not travel country. And that means that the tourism here has just been obliterated.
Tourism in Myanmar reached over 4.3 million visitors in 2019, but by 2025, that number fell to just under 1 million, mostly coming from China, Thailand, and South Korea.
Now, as you can see, I'm here. It's possible to come here. Actually, it just was as easy as filling out a visa, flying here, and walking through. But I think most people are scared about the possible outcomes of visiting a place like this. Right now, I'm in one of the city's biggest tourist sites. My mission while we're here at this location is to look around and see if we can find any foreigners. And if we can, I want to ask them what made them brave enough to come here to Myanmar.
So far, this Myanmar trip is going well, but last time I was here, things got bad fast.
A few months ago, I had a medical emergency mid-shoot in the country of Myanmar. I had to get an emergency surgery in a country I was barely familiar with. What that experience taught me is that when things go sideways on the road, you need one thing more than anything else: to be reachable. When you're that far from home, your phone isn't a convenience, it's everything. That's why Olafly's new always-on benefit is so important. You still get the unlimited data eSIM for the destination you're traveling to. But now as an Olafly customer, you also receive the always-on benefit every month. Once you install your Olafly eSIM, you automatically get 1 gigabyte of backup data every single month, already active before you land. No top-up, no action needed across 70 plus destinations. It's the kind of thing that exists so when something goes wrong, and something always goes wrong, you're not left scrambling. Olafly's new always-on feature is now available for all customers. Use code SUNNY at eSIM.olafly.com or at checkout on their app for 5% off any eSIM and 10% off their global subscription plans. QR code on top, link down in the description. Now, back to the show. Since we're in one of the holiest places in the country, no shoes allowed. I feel like my bare feet is much more sacrilegious than me with shoes on. Behind me, we're about to go through security, which may be an issue because I have this, a mic box. So it's time to put Myanmar to the test. Is this going to be a big deal or not? So we just went through security, not a problem. The alarm went off and they said, yes, go ahead. We don't care. Here's what's funny about cultures is you can change the leadership, but these are the same people I remember. We are inside the pagoda now, and this place is stunning. It's beautiful, and it's sad that there's so many outsiders, people from foreign lands who feel like they can't come here. What's unusual to me is that in coming here, I expected to see people more scared, hiding, but this place is full of domestic tourists. Now, that is not to say that there are no issues here, but if you were plopped down here and never knew anything about the news, you wouldn't think that there was anything going on here. Hey, film this so people know I'm such a good person. No, don't film this, man. It's just my personal thing. So we have walked all around the pagoda. This is the biggest pagoda in Yangon, and no tourists. I saw thousands of people and not one person that stands out from the rest. Everyone here is Burmese. I'm not giving up. We're gonna go somewhere else now, somewhere where we can get closer to locals and try some food. We have come to General Aung San, a giant market where they sell absolutely everything. And here we have a new mission. From this point in the video, we're gonna experience life in Yangon at 3 different socioeconomic levels. Right now we're starting in the market, a place that's very affordable and a place where most people in the country can afford to get food. From here, we're gonna go to more of a casual dining location and then a more expensive location within the city, a place that few could afford. The goal is to kind of witness life in Yangon at every level. But my goal here at this market specifically is to connect with the local people, see how people react to shooting, which so far seems like not a big issue, and try some food. Welcome to the snack section. Now, here's what I love about snacks in Myanmar is that it feels like any other Southeast Asian food, but when you look more closely, the food is something like you've never seen before. Right here, we have a local nut or a seed. It starts with this, but then they boil it, it becomes like this, and finally, they pound it. Right here, she has her mallet. She pounds this nut or seed into a little bit of a pancake, and from here, she fills it up. All of these are already soaking in an oil, and then she puts this kind of coconut paste on the inside. Right here, we have the final product. Let's try out our first food here in Myanmar. I'm gonna try to take this in one bite, fold it over. It's shining, it is so greasy. Wow, how does a nut get like that? The texture of the pancake, it's incredibly dense. Beyond that, inside it is a coconut oil. It's very potent, it's very flavorful, and it's so rich. I can see why people love that. So she says, now that I've tried this oily dish, I need to try something else to balance it out. Right here, she's taking some pounded sticky rice and using the scissors to cut it up. You can see embedded on the top, it looks like there's some black sesame seeds. That is our base. So here she puts on some shredded coconut and she tops it with some palm syrup. Thank you. This is gorgeous and huge. I want to try just this alone. It is so sticky. Oh, there we go. So let's give it a shot. That palm sugar, it's kind of like a liquefied brown sugar. Very sweet, but a little bit earthy. Then right here, I want to get this bite with all this coconut on top. You cannot get a coconut experience this fresh in the USA. As people are ordering, she continues to refresh and restock her ingredients. She has half a coconut and she's using this tool to create some shredded coconut. Boom, done. She dumps it out and that's ready for the next customer. Moving on to the next food. Right here we have our second snack food. This is what I call a stuffed tofu pocket. Right now she's about to assemble one from scratch. It all starts with tofu that is very thin that she splits open with her fingers. The first thing she puts in is salt. Right here we have some lime pulp, then some sliced chilies, a little bit of fish sauce, some cabbage. This is a combination of sugar and peanuts. And finally, I'm told this is kind of like a shallot jam. Let me give just that a try. Oh, actually, after tasting it, that's not onion at all. That is garlic. A lady has just come to fan me. This is incredible service. Thank you. That said, let's give it a shot. Oh, wow. I'm in love. No, I'm not the biggest tofu fan in the world, but that is a nice vessel to carry all of these ingredients. Beyond that, it turns out the first thing she put on there, it wasn't salt, it was MSG. MSG is like salt on steroids. Right here, another delicious bite. The cabbage just gives it some body, the chilies give it some heat, the fish sauce makes it extra savory. It's pretty incredible. A good start, let's keep moving. What's sad about walking through here is that you see so many trinkets, paintings, stuff for tourists to buy and take away and bring home, but there's one problem. No tourism. So I don't know how these people are holding on, but God bless them. I think this is like a restaurant storefront right here. If I'm not mistaken, it seems like you could order through this window and perhaps this is someone's meal right here. Like a pie waiting on a windowsill to cool down. Looks nice. Ooh, I stumbled upon something. Pun.
Actually, the correct term in Myanmar is kunyar, a type of chewing tobacco, usually made with betel leaf, a hit of slaked lime, tobacco, and this. But, I'm not sure what that is.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm told this is meant to be chewed on and then spit out. What is that middle hard part? That'd be on the Oh no, I'm gonna get high. Oh no, I'm feeling it. I gotta spit it out before I get high. Thank you so much for that experience. Oh, you know what? Double it, give it to the next one. Thank you.
So far, locals are surprisingly comfortable being on camera, with a handful even asking for pictures. Still, I haven't been able to find a single tourist. Then this woman walked by, a British lady who's lived in Myanmar since before the coup.
I'm kind of just exploring how the tourism has dropped a lot, especially because the U.S. has designated this a level 4 travel advisory. The U.S. says do not travel. Do you see tourists here much at all?
Not really. Maybe business tourism is here.
Just from your perspective, are people from the outside overreacting? Are they misinformed? Like they're just seeing one side of the story?
I don't think they're overreacting. It's just because it depends where you are in the country, so you have to be super aware.
Where would you not go?
Wherever they told me not to go.
So you do have to be thoughtful about where you go.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Fair enough. Thank you so much.
This is one outsider's perspective, and soon I'll share my own. But first, I need to find something to eat.
Hello.
Hi, John.
Oh, looking for food.
I'm looking for food.
Yeah, food is there, other side.
That side.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Can you believe that guy? Trying to trick me? Keep me away from the real good food? Aha! I knew it! We just found a restaurant here in the middle of nowhere. Right here, there's literal mountains of food. We have shredded papaya. Right here, we have some fritters, shrimp fritters, but I've never seen fritters quite like this. Many of them have a shrimp kind of fried or baked into it. This is like how my wife and I are oriented on the bed usually. This is me, and then this is my wife, and then this is just no man's land. Moving on. Right here, you can see clearly, this is a bean sprout that they've kind of battered and fried. What I'm told is people don't actually usually eat it like this. This gets cut into a salad with more ingredients. But I do want to take a bite into this side of the bed. Always trust the locals. Don't do what I just did. Virtually flavorless, stale, old, greasy. Not pleasant. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. I want to see what this is usually actually made into. Step one, she goes to the side where she has some shredded cucumber. Ugh. From here, she takes the shrimp off of the fritter, and then she uses the scissors to cut the fritter into smaller, more manageable pieces. Well, you can see even with that scissors, it's tough to get through it. Boom. Now, the shrimp, she cuts the head off, and then the rest of the body gets cut into thin little pieces. From here, she puts in MSG, some prawn salt. Then we have a bean flour. Some chilies go in next. Then she puts in a combination of oil and garlic. Finally, fish sauce goes in, along with tamarind sauce. From here, she gives it a bit of a mix. Finally, she puts it on a plate and then just tries to completely obstruct my view. And that is how you make a fried Burmese prawn salad. I was worried about the cucumber at first, except for the dish swallowed up the soul of the cucumber. Everything is just kind of a dark shade of orangey red. Time to give it a shot. Can I tell you my honest first impression? That's not my favorite thing ever. It tastes stale and old. The fried sections of bean sprout, they taste like they were fried yesterday. The shrimp is very hard. Everything else though, not blowing my moccasins off, I'll tell you that. Luckily, I've not broken the bank with this dish as it only costs $7,000 in the local currency. So right now we've been in the market for a couple of hours, and I can say how I feel now when I came to Yangon is how I felt years ago when I came here. Like the people, the interactions, everything feels pretty similar, and I thought it was gonna be drastically different. People are happy that I'm here. When I'm shooting, nobody seems to mind, but they do care if you talk about one topic in particular. I met a local a moment ago. I won't show his face, but I was asking him, was there way more foreigners and tourists like in 2019?
Not really.
No.
You know, it's some kind of, the topics that I can't talk about.
Unclear? Seems like the same?
Yeah, I guess.
So it was clear and obvious that he didn't want to be seen on camera talking about that. As far as I can tell, in Yangon, life is moving forward except for you can't talk about the thing. But this is just one city, and Myanmar is a big country, and there's a lot of different ethnic groups, regions, and local tensions that are happening elsewhere. For me as a tourist who just wanted to come here, it seems like the coast is clear for now. From the very affordable market food, we have come here to a mid-price restaurant, a place known as Traditional Myanmar Food House. Here we're going to be trying an iconic and traditional food of Myanmar, the tea leaf salad. It's a salad, but it's made with tea leaves. Welcome to the salad station. The most important part of this dish would be the tea leaves. Right here we have, I would say, over 5 pounds of tea leaves. This is like 10 tea leaf bushes all condensed down into this right here. Beyond that, there's another key ingredient. So I'm told locally they're called Indian beans, but there's also a combination of peanuts and toasted sesame seeds too. Now, those items are already right here on this plate, and in a moment, she's gonna take this, mix it with some other flavors, and make a classic Burmese tea leaf salad. Let's get to it. All of that is gonna head into this bowl. From there, cabbage joints, then tomato. From here, some fish sauce. Now it's time for some MSG and some bean oil. Next, she hits it with some lemon, and then gives all of that a mix. Once it's done, she literally grabs a fistful of salad and puts it onto this small saucer here. Next, some garlic and some chilies goes on too. And that is how you make a Burmese tea leaf salad. Here we have come to a pure flavor station. Let's take a look at what they got here. This is a dry looking fish curry with a ton of chilies. Beyond that, they have some chicken over here. Here they have some fried pork. And then my favorite over here, this is a deer meat curry. I didn't even know people were eating deer here in this country of Myanmar. So from here, I'm gonna select my curry, sit down and try it out. For everything you see here, the total price is about $11.19. Not expensive, but certainly not as cheap as food you can find in the market we were just at. Before we try this out, I want to talk a little bit more about the restaurant. When you come here, you can definitely see the people eating here are from a different slice of society. These are people who have more funds to go out and have a good time. Beyond that, the restaurant style itself is interesting. All the food is pre-made. You order it, you say what you want, they scoop it up, and it's at your table within minutes. Another thing that makes it stand out from the market is that people here eat with gloves. Now, I've gone with deer because I've never had deer in my curry. This is a rich, oily curry. It's just pure oil dripping out of here. Let's give it a shot. That is incredible. It tastes like it's been roasted or braising for a long time. So the meat has broken down just like a roast. Wow, this thing is just absolutely loaded with spices. Deer curry, 10 out of 10, amazing. But then we have this. I got raw garlic. I've got some cabbage in there for body. I've got some chilies to add a little bit of heat. That's a nice looking bite. It's a little bit sour, and I wonder if that is from the tea leaves. But beyond that, this thing is full of flavor in general. You've got fish sauce, you've got citrus, you've got the seasonings of the gods, MSG. But then there's the texture. These fried beans, even though they've been sitting in this wet salad now for 20 minutes, they're still crunchy as heck. So good. So this is our second location, and we still have one more very expensive location coming up. But first, there's something I want to talk about, something that I can't talk about too loudly, and that is the conditions on the ground here in Myanmar. Now, if you watch this video so far, you might get the impression that everything here is kind of hunky-dory, it's fine, the people are happy, and on the surface, that seems to be true. But there's something going on here that people call a quiet struggle. It's uncertainty and pressures around things like inflation, the cost of fuel. I mean, just weeks ago, there were people or lines at the gas stations that would take hours and hours in order for people to be able to fill up their vehicles.
It's not just a waiting game. For some, it's a matter of luck. In cities like Yangon, motorists can queue up to 6 hours just to get fuel.
And then I heard a story a moment ago that absolutely horrified me. You see, a couple months ago, there was a curfew here in Yangon. People couldn't go out past 6 or 7 p.m. Now that curfew has been lifted, but restaurants are still closing pretty early. Why is that? Well, I've been told by locals that that's because people are afraid of potentially being kidnapped. That the government has gone out, they've found young people around the age of 20, 21, 22, 23. They kidnap them and they bring them to go fighting in this country's civil war. So this is really a two-faced city at this moment. And so that's something I try to keep in mind during this video. And while I'm here is that what you see here is just one side of the story. That said, let's head to our final and most expensive location. Behind me, a place known as Burma Bistro. Inside, they're making what they call casual dining, but I think they're acting humble. Soon I'm going to reveal the prices, and let me tell you, you're going to be shocked, but not for the reason you think. Let's go inside. Right now we are in the kitchen. We're about to see how they make their classic Burmese-style fried rice. Let's get to it. Take it away. Okay, action. Go. Step 1, walk away and ask the head chef what to do. It all starts with a very hot wok that he just put some oil into. Right here we have a tomato paste. He doesn't even try to dodge the flames. He's hoping they consume him. Boom. Next, the rice plops in. I've never seen a stir-fried rice that starts with tomato paste. From here, we have a in-house soy-based sauce. A little bit of oyster sauce, chicken powder. This right here is just pure chicken powder. From here, the chef looks at me. I look back, confused, uncertain. What shall I do? What are we looking for? But you gotta use your words, my man. Somebody is coming through. We need to plate this sucker. He takes a bamboo. He puts the rice inside. He plates it, but we're not done yet. I know because he walked away from me just now. Then we wash dishes. So right here we have our rice, but that is just our base. Soon we're gonna be crowning it with this, a pork skewer cooking in the convection oven. Cook faster. Time has passed and we're ready to wrap this puppy up. The oven has been opened. He uses tongs to remove this that is going to go on top of our fried rice, but that's not all. Moments ago, these mushrooms were also in the convection oven. Here's proof. Right here we have a combination of carrots, onions, other vegetables, coriander, stuff, and that is how you make Burma Bistro's signature fried rice. This right here is our final and most expensive meal of the day, and you can see this is a pretty big upgrade from that shrimp salad. That was rough. So right here we have a ginger salad plated beautifully in a banana blossom.
First, ginger, shredded green and purple cabbage, thinly sliced red and green tomatoes, carrots, shallots, and white seaweed all dive into a mixing bowl. Next, some fried beans add a bit of crunch. Now for the flavor. Roasted bean powder, fish sauce, lime juice, and some vegetable oil to bind it all together. All of the ingredients are thoroughly mixed before being placed on a banana blossom leaf, served alongside crispy tofu and raw flavor enhancers like chilies, garlic, and fresh lime.
The salad looks extremely fresh, super fragrant, and full of vegetation. Behind it, we have this, a tofu cracker. Let's give it a shot. That was a tough bite. I couldn't get a clean break from it. The tofu cracker is a little bit stale. It's not as crumbly as a cracker would usually be. That said, the actual salad itself is amazing. It's super delicious, umami, fresh. The most surprising part about it is that it's just completely soaked in oil. But you know what? The oil, it's a nice touch. That said, this is a ginger salad. I barely taste the ginger. Moving on to our final food. This is this restaurant's take on Burmese-style fried rice. This seems to basically just be tomato paste and a few other flavors tossed in, and that's it. Does it taste like typical fried rice? Is it gonna have wok hei? Let's find out. It definitely has that wok hei flavor, but that said, there's not a lot of texture, there's not a lot of vegetables, there's not a lot going on, and it doesn't taste overly tomatoey. Pretty surprising, something I've never had before. But of course, the fried rice is not meant to be eaten alone, and that's why we have this right here, a pork skewer. I'm gonna attempt to slide it off of the skewer and keep it intact. Boom, victorious. Ooh, yeah. This is definitely a more lean part of the pig. All right, let's give it a shot. The marinade is wonderful. It's very spicy, but the pork itself, a bit on the dry side. And that's because they're using this cut of meat that just really doesn't have much fat. Definitely, if I had to pick a favorite between the two, this right here is my absolute favorite, which even surprises me. But what's more remarkable than me enjoying a salad is the price here. If you add everything up that's on the table right now, the total comes to about $16.50. This is one of the more expensive places you could go to in this town, yet 2 meals together is $16.50. That would be like a dream where I'm from. Even though this is inexpensive to me as an outsider, here in this city, this is a pretty expensive restaurant. It's the type of place people might come to maybe once a month. Food-wise, it's been interesting to see how much the quality changes when you go from food that costs about $1 to something that costs about 15 times that. A $1 food is something you're gonna find on the streets. You're gonna be sitting on a low-slung stool, you're gonna be in the heat, and you're gonna be sweating a lot from your neck for some reason. Meanwhile, places like this, I've got air conditioning, I've got great service, and I got food that is Instagrammable. In the restaurant, I couldn't exactly speak freely about what I wanted to say about Myanmar. And actually, in doing a video like this, I have to be careful to not implicate any local people. I talked to several people today, and off camera, they'll be honest with you about what's going on. But on camera, somebody speaking badly about the current government situation could get in serious trouble. So I set out today to try to understand what it's like living in a country that's run by the military. And in the end, it's a mixed bag. In some ways, it seems better than I thought. That said, I think a lot of the struggle, pain, and difficulties people are going through are not so obvious on the surface. That said, this is still just our first day here, and I have a lot more to learn about this country. The next question is, would I suggest someone travel here? There's this dark or morbid idea that when a country has a conflict, has a terrorist attack, that's the best time to go. The weird upside for foreigners is that it's actually pretty easy to come here, but beyond that, it's insanely affordable. So one perspective might be, hey, here you can come and get really nice hotels for $100 a night, and you can eat like a king. Meanwhile, there are no tourist traps because there are no tourists. So I'm not saying come here to take advantage of the situation people are in, but come here to support the people who need that support. But do not come here if safety is your highest priority. This is not the most safe travel destination, but it is certainly a unique one. And here, you're definitely gonna have a story to tell once you leave.